22 years, and it is a pleasure to be with you all here today to celebrate with an elite group of students. You folks in these front center rows, represent some of the brightest minds of our generation. We are happy that you were able to join us today for so many reasons. First, you earned it. Second, you look pretty good. You guys clean up pretty well. But having you assembled here is not only your reward, but ours at CTY. Seeing you today makes all of CTY's efforts more than worth it. It took a lot of work to find you. CTY has about 175 full-time employees. Last year, we printed over 650,000 brochures that went out to almost 17,000 schools. We lead webinars, host live presentations, and answer several thousand phone calls and emails every year. It's an enormous undertaking, so why do we put in so much effort? It's because years ago, one student needed help. The work that led to CTY's founding began with a 7th grader in Baltimore named Joe. Joe was smart, very smart, and he needed a greater challenge than his school was able to offer. One bright child had a need, and an adult, impressed by his potential, in this case, Dr. Julian Stanley, CTY's founder, did what he could do to help him. He had no way of knowing it would become this big. But we soon discovered Joe wasn't alone. Other students in Baltimore, in Maryland, and throughout the region also needed a challenge. And before long, we were in other countries all over the world. What started as a partnership between one young student and an inspired researcher became a community that now includes hundreds of thousands of people from around the world, including you guys. So after all that effort, it wasn't enough that we found you. We wanted to meet you. And we wanted to deliver a message to you that would sound familiar to Joe Bates and some of CTY's first students more than 30 years ago. The things you're achieving today are even more important than you can possibly realize. More and more, just about every country in the world is going to be competing for talent like yours. So let's conduct a little bit of research on our own here. With a show of hands, how many of you in the audience have used an iPad? Okay. Okay. How many of you have built or designed a web page? And, okay, this is a good one. How many of you have played an online game? So, not so terribly long ago, those questions wouldn't have had seen too many hands raised in the air. Technology is moving rapidly. There are people alive today who did not have electricity when they were born. Think about that. No electricity. Midway through their careers, they had to learn how to use this device. It's called a computer. And now they're in retirement and they're finding their way around this place called the internet. That's a lot of change for one person in one lifetime. But it's not just that things are changing. The speed of the change is increasing. Google, you guys know Google, right? It's only 14 years old. Facebook, you know Facebook? Yeah. It's only 9 years old. But it's already difficult to imagine life without them. Oh, both of the founders of those two little things called Google and Facebook, yeah, they were CTYers, by the way. So, as you know, after helping your parents program your TiVo, set up their new smartphone, the world needs people who can keep up. And you are the brilliant young minds that we need. But there may not be enough of you. According to the consulting firm McKinsey, by 2020, the world may have 40 million too few college graduates. 40 million. And it's predicting what it calls a global war war for talent. Not just in technical fields either, but just in about every area you can imagine. So if you didn't know it already, you guys are worth fighting for. And you're exactly why the Center for Talented Youth was founded. Since 1979, as part of our talent search, CTY has helped more than 1.7 million students from over 120 countries discover the true range of their academic abilities. At the recommendation of an educator or parent, tens of thousands of students just like you every single year take an above grade level test. Every year, like you guys, they not only do well in these tests, but they excel. Through the talent search, you honorees have shown your ability to follow instructions, absorb information, and then utilize that information quickly and efficiently. For some, the test that you took provided an opportunity for you to demonstrate your facility with language, the subtle relationship between words and meanings. For others, you enjoyed probing the secrets of math, the logic that allows just a few symbols to represent absolutely anything. You didn't have to do any of this, but you did. You saw a challenge, you showed initiative, you took a risk, and you thrived. That intellectual aptitude, mental agility, curiosity, these are exactly the traits that the world needs right now. We need them to solve some of the problems that we face. You all were born during a time when social networks helped people interact and connect. That's great. But can we use those connections to share information and solve problems? Universities like Hopkins have proven that if you can get top minds all in one place on a single campus, we can teach you just about anything. But can we make better use of the internet so that where you are will matter less than how well you can learn? The world has great problem-solving institutions in the form of colleges and businesses, and some remarkably powerful new tools. But it's up to you to help us make the most of them. Please show us that we can do more with all of this than just get a really high score on Angry Birds. The internet gives the average person access to an unfathomable amount of information, but we don't know what it all means or how best to use it. So you are here today because you've demonstrated your ability to make the most of what you've been given. So we charge you to please help the rest of us do the same in your future. Now we know you've had a lot of help to get this far from people who've guided you, advised you, and encouraged you. So before we turn all of our focus onto the honorees, would all of the parents, guardians, grandparents, siblings in the room please stand for our round of applause for your help. We are also keenly aware that many of you would not be here today without the dedicated efforts of teachers, school administrators, and counselors. Someone at your school probably was the one who introduced you to CTY. They certainly believe in you and support your great academic talents. So let's give them a quick round of applause as well. So the presentation of awards. CTY Talent Search students, the time has come for us to congratulate each one of you personally, to present you with a recognition pin on stage. We will recognize the students from 2012 academic year first and then the 2013 academic year. The tests that you took, the SCAT, the School and College Ability Test, the SAT, and the ACT assess a student's verbal and mathematical abilities. And students must take one of these tests to participate in CTY and the talent search. And then some students at this award ceremony in grades 5 through 8 took a special test called the Spatial Test Battery, or the STB. Spatial ability involves understanding and visualizing the way objects interact in 3 dimensions. This ability is a unique type of intelligence, distinguishable from other forms, such as the mathematical or verbal ability. Students who are recognized here today for their performance on the STB are those who scored a 600 or higher on that test. So all of our honorees today took one of these 4 above grade level tests and did extremely well. That's why you're here today. So we are going to start again, as I said, honoring our 2012 testers and then move on to our 2013 Talent Search participants. And to facilitate these awards, here's how it's going to work. We're going to ask the students to form a line at the foot of the stage over here to my right, your left. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come up as I call your name. You're going to come to the center table, and my colleague Janet will hand you your pin and shake your hand. But then don't leave the stage. Walk to the end of the stage and wait until we finish that group. That's parents when we're going to applaud. And then we'll have a few moments for pictures, and then you'll go return to your seat and we'll call the next group. We're going to do it in alphabetical order. So as I call your group and you make your way to the side, do your best to talk amongst each other for a moment and try to place yourself in alphabetical order. Do wait until you hear your name called. So I'm going to call some names of students that aren't here. If that's not you, don't come up. We'll go move right on to the next person. Only come onto the stage when your name is called. And if